So this is nothing new, but just feeling it right now so intensely that understanding new things, right? When you're in your spiritual path and you have your challenges and you begin to understand really deep stuff. Okay, that's really good. Good job. But between that and having processed that challenge, it's the whole universe of difference. It has absolutely nothing to do one with the other. One is an intellectual process where you understand it in your head and super nice, but to really integrate it, that's the other kind of work. That's the work where you silence your mind, where you're beginning to feel the stuff in your body. Okay, now the intellect is satisfied. It got it, but that doesn't mean healing. Healing happens when you integrate. And to do that, the only thing you need to do is to sit in meditation, practice how to quiet your mind down. This is what we do here at the Jungle Hub. And just sit with it, sit with whatever is, sit with the emotion, sit with the sensation, sit with the feeling, without turning it into a thought. That's integration, and that's what we focus on. So
I began to understand that I had to stop learning new stuff and stop wanting to know something more about my process, about my mission in life, about my spiritual growth, and about filling page after page in my journal. This is all nice. This is great. It's just that knowing that I could tap into all this amazing wisdom was preventing me to actually sit and integrate everything I have learned. And that's actually how this podcast came to be in the first place, because creating this podcast meant that I had to go into my journal and review page by page. So it has been a very therapeutic activity to do, which I also love doing. So going back to my journal and reading all the entries and remembering the energy in that moment, because that's why that's what usually happened to me. I would have this amazing download and feel this energy of clarity about something, and then I would write it down with all my emotion, and I felt like that's it, I'm done after knowing this. And what happened is that with time, I simply forgot that I wrote that down, and I simply forgot the whole experience. Maybe I remembered logically what happened, but I forgot the sensation of that clarity. So even when I came back and read the journal, sometimes it just read like, I don't know, completely different. Just the words. I mean, like, why did I think this was so great? It sounds cheesy, but it's about really tuning in with that energy again. And then it was really an opportunity for me to do some integration instead of sitting in meditation and downloading the next big thing, right? So it was very therapeutic, because it's crucial to integrate. You can learn and learn and learn and know and know and know, and that's not going to heal anything. That's not going to do anything. The real healing begins only when you begin to integrate that knowledge into your everyday life as your new you, right? So also, when I was constantly trying to journal and record everything and capture everything, it's not the same energy than really letting it permeate the whole of you day after day. It's not a matter of one time, you have to take that new clarity and live it day by day, day after day. So I was writing that it's not about being the one who publishes this information. No, it's about being this information, being it myself. And then it can be shared, then it will be shared, then it doesn't matter. And during the time of these journal entries, I had an amazing dream that is so symbolic about this topic, because my dream was that, well, I used to work at BMW, right? And sometimes, a lot of times, I had to check out brand new cars to run tests on them on the weekend and stuff like that. I loved doing that, but it was a little bit stressful because it was a super expensive prototype or something, and I had to be really careful with it. It was enjoyable, but at the same time, kind of responsibility and really paying attention. So in this dream, I'm in charge not of one car, but of two cars. There are two cars that I need to drive, and of course, you cannot drive two cars. So I needed to get from point A to point B with two cars alone. It was impossible. I was like, okay, so if I drive like this, then and then I take a train back or take a taxi and a bus, I'm like, how do I do this? How do I move two cars from point A to point B? And then I had a volunteer in the dream. So I told the volunteer, hey, you need to help me to drive this other car to point B, because I'm going to be driving this one, which is the newest one. And the two cars were pretty new, both of them, like it usually is there at the R&D department. But one is like super, super new, like it's going to come out in 2 years and it's a prototype. And the other one is one that maybe already came out and it's also super new, brand new. But I wanted to drive the absolute newest. And the second newest, it was also my responsibility, but I delegated that to my volunteer. So the volunteer in the dream was like, nope, I don't think so. So she refused to drive the other car. And the meaning of the dream is that I need to go take that older car back first before I want to drive the new car. I need to integrate yesterday's download before I want to have the next download. And since then, I've been a lot more relaxed, because I don't feel like I have to perform the next download and document it and put it out there. It will come. But I really took my time with this podcast to just review my whole journal and feel is that a word? Refeel all those moments of clarity one by one, and thereby giving me time to just process everything that has happened, which has been a lot. And I'm very grateful to now be able to share this finally, and I hope that you feel inspired in one way or another. And if you like this content, make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so, and give us a like, and maybe even comment. What do you think about all of this information? Has it been helpful for you? Has it helped you to see things a little bit different? Because this content is absolutely anti-popular, right? There are very, very few people that are interested with that kind of commitment to really look at the stuff head on and stop with all the distractions and bypasses and stuff that just is, more of the same. And so, yes, thanks a lot for being here. I think this is one of the last chapters of my journal up until now, and then there will be a next season. Thank you all so much for having made it so far, and definitely see you next time.